Welcome to this GED Math Booster video. The topic of today's problem involves a number line with missing numbers. Plot the point on the number line that corresponds to the value of absolute value. That's what those straight lines mean. Absolute value of A plus B. We'll get to that in a moment, but we look at our number line and we know that it is not labeled very well. We only have 3 numbers shown on it, and we don't have any numbers at these points A and B that we need. So the first step in a problem like this is going to be to complete that scale. We want to identify the increment of the scale, and that will help us complete it. What I mean by increment is, what is this distance between these tick marks? What is the distance of each one of these spaces? Let's try to figure that out. I want to focus on the end of our number line where we have these two numbers 8 and 12 close together. We see that there are 2 increments, 2 spaces between those numbers, 8 and 12. That will allow us to figure out the distance of each space. We subtract the distance between 8 and 12 and we get 4. The distance of this red line with the 2 arrows is 4. And we divide that by the 2 increments. Distance of 4 divided by 2 increments. Each increment or each space has a distance of 2. That will help us complete the scale. What I'm going to do is work backwards. I'm going to start at 12 and subtract 2 to get this label right here. So that should be labeled 10. Then I'm going to move over to 8 and do the same thing, subtract 2. I'm going to continue to subtract 2 as we move to the left. 6 minus 2 is 4. Minus 2 is 2. We continue to 0, then minus 2. Minus 4 we don't need to label, but it's good to know that that fits in with our pattern. And then minus 6, and finally minus 8. And now we can see that all of our tick marks in this number line are labeled. That makes it easy to figure out what A and B are. A is -8 and B is +2. Now we can move on to sort of the math portion of this question. Find the absolute value of A plus B. We set that up. We use our straight lines to indicate absolute value. And what we need to do to solve this is to first simplify inside the absolute value symbols, just like we would with a parenthesis. And -8 plus 2 is -6. Now we have to apply that absolute value function. What that says is, if the simplified number inside the absolute value is negative, we simply strip that negative off and it becomes positive. So the answer to this absolute value of A plus B is the number 6. And our problem asked us to plot this on the number line. So we go back to our number line, we put an X on the number 6, and we are done with this problem. The key takeaway from this problem is, remember to complete the scale if it's incomplete on a number line, to make sure that you find the right values for the points that are labeled, in this case, A and B. That wraps up this video. I hope you found it helpful.